Yeah, you mean
Here's something to keep in mind. Maybe move towards your subject. If I were taking a picture of you, I might move a little bit closer to get in closer. And I can also adjust that black background look, okay? And if you want to walk in on your subject, you see that. And this is, of course, called cinematic mode. And then you can also shift between your subjects. Another thing is experiment with exposure. If you want something to have kind of a moodier look, what you can do is let me show you. Let me go back here. And let's say, take a picture, video here. Let me go this way. I'll start to shoot movie and cinematic.
Okay.
And I could tap, if that was the person, I'd tap there, then there, you know.
But I could also shift the focus or the blur factor. So if I'm over here, let's see. I would do, I can move this. See how more of it's in focus. It's kind of hard to tell here. More's in focus and then less. Now it's more blurry back there. So you can change that if you want.
Now let's talk about action. This is about action. This is where, this scene when you saw it earlier, you're following somebody and they're moving, and you want to move with them, or your cat's walking along with a railing or something, and you want to walk with them as the, you know, film them as they're walking. Or you want to follow somebody as they're skating. They're skating around and you do this, okay? You want to be in action. So, go back to the camera. I'm going to swipe over the video. I want you to notice something. My flash has a line through it, so I'm not going to be using flash. But that action mode has a line through it right now. But now, I'm using action mode. You see, it's just the toggle on and off. See, everybody's turning it on, and it'll tell you action mode. So now, if I'm going to, say, be shooting video, and I'm wanting to run along, maybe it's some kids, and I'm going to, you know, move like this. It should be still, and I'm going to show you some examples. Let's see if this will show us. I think this will show us two. Well, follow your partner as they do. You follow them, and you can try this with whatever lens you have. You know, the 3x or the 5x. So you can stay still, or you can move with them. And this is using the 3 or 5x, so you're really locking in close on their feet. You know. Oh, here's an example. Let's see if this shows what I was wanting to see. Oh yeah, here's where action mode is off, and here is where it is on. So we can make a difference. I don't run that smooth, so mine will look worse. But that is much smoother. If you are in that kind of if you're trying to do some type of a scene, a video clip where they're moving can move with them, or move not only behind them but alongside them, or you want to be, you may be still, or you may be just going in a circle around somebody that was like on the roller skates. Now, let's talk about time lapse. That's another option you have. I think this is so cool. They've just set up all those models, but they've set up their camera and it's set up for a number of probably hours. This might have been a number of hours, you know. This is probably, they're doing the time lapse as they're going along in a subway car, is what that looks like. If you're moving as you're doing time lapse, it's like hyperlapse. That's what causes that. And here's an experiment to do. Let's say you're somewhere and you're going down the street, walking down the sidewalk, but there's some kind of, at the end of the street, there's a building or something. Keep your building in the center of your phone, okay? And you walk towards it, and you just stay, keep that building in front. And it's pretty cool. I've seen some examples of people that have done that. It's pretty cool. But you kind of keep that building, or it may be a sign or something, in the center, and what it'll do is kind of anchor that video clip that you're taking. So use that grid, use your grid, and do it. And it wouldn't matter whether it's video or time lapse is really cool. And then if you've got people on either side of you that are walking, they'll really speed up when you hit the play button on the time lapse. And here's where you find that. Let's do this. One tip is that when you go into time lapse, so I was in photo, now I'm in video, cinematic, and then slow-mo, and then time lapse. When you tap this, you want to be able to be in the time lapse mode at least for a minute. I mean, if it's less than a minute, you're not going to do it. I mean, I could go back and forth, but it wouldn't be very dramatic, But try that, turn it on, and then find yourself, especially if you're where people are on either side of you, just start, doing this. And then you need to do it for, a while.
If I do it this way, I can't do it this way.
And try that, and it would be a fun thing to see how that turns out for you. And listen, it takes practice. I don't ever get anything right the first time. It does take practice. But if you practice here at home and then you find yourself on a trip somewhere, or with family, friends, and stuff like that, it can be a lot of fun, and you'll know how to do it because you practice. So that's kind of. And if I play that, like I say, it wasn't very long. See, boom, it's over with. You need to do it for at least a minute. And let's see if this was a little longer. Is this the time lapse? No, this is okay. All right. Now here is a time lapse that they left their camera probably on a tripod, and they left it there overnight. They knew they had a plant about to bloom. So this is a time lapse. Now see what's happening? Isn't this awesome? This is really cool. They're starting to open.
But they are active. In the interim, hanging out
Isn't that cool? You see that?
Wow.
Yeah, would be the thing. But you know, if you've got a sunroom or something, you can leave it set up like on a tripod. Yeah, it's really a cool thing. So try that. And you know, but that took all night, and it's 36 seconds. Okay. Now, another thing to try is slow mo, going slow. You know, what if you're somewhere where they release butterflies? I know they do that in Grapevine. You know, do something like that where they're all up in there and they do it in that slow mo and you see it slowly rotate. I think that'd be really cool. Or what about, you know, kids in the sprinkler or something? This is slow mo. And I think that's cool because you really see the moves and stuff. So don't forget to shoot in those other modes, not just video, not just cinematic, but slow-mo and time-lapse. And here's something that I thought was pretty cool. Shoot from a low angle too, get a different perspective. And I just thought that was pretty with all those fabrics. And then again, just spin around in place. Just have somebody, you know. I mean, what about your kids or grandkids? It's Halloween and they're dressed with a cape or something. Get them to just spin around in place or something like that. And obviously, look at this. Isn't that fun? This would be a great day to do something like that. As hot as it is. Now, I'll show you something else. Sometimes you need to edit your videos because you'll start videoing something and then you need to trim it on either side. And, oh no, I'm talking about editing video. I'm sorry, I didn't jump ahead. Some of the things you can do. One is to trim it. Maybe you don't leave the very first part or the very end. And what you would do is you want to make sure you go into edit mode and then bring one end or the other end in and it'll turn yellow. That means you're in edit mode.
Okay.
And then you can get just the clip you want. Now here's another thing. Sometimes you may shoot a video clip and you need to adjust it like you do your photos. You may need to increase the exposure or decrease it. Increase the contrast, maybe the color saturation, or something like that. You can see what's being changed right here. Okay, so play around with that to enhance your video clips. And then here's another thing. Don't overlook a filter. Because sometimes, look at these different filters for applying. That can give a different mood to your video clip. Or maybe you just want it black and white. You may take a video clip, and when you put it in black and white, it will have a timeless appeal to it. You won't know what era it was taken in, you know? Now, here's another thing you can do. You can crop. You can crop. So you take this video clip, and then crop it. That can be helpful. So, you know, don't overlook cropping. Because that puts a little more emphasis on the people in the frame. So don't forget to trim it if you need to. And you can just tap edit and you can trim or adjust some of the color, saturation, contrast, exposure, or adding a filter. That can definitely give a different look to your video. So don't forget, anticipate the action, anticipate what's going on or that you're about to film. And I love playing with exposure or changing the focus, framing yourself subject. Don't forget, play with time. I just think of that bubble at school. And then remember, you can edit to really fine tune things. And the next thing I want to show is an example of spatial video. If you have a 15 Pro or a 15 Pro Max, you can shoot in a spatial video. And let me show you what that looks like. Because I want you to know how to shoot that if you have a 15 Pro or 15 Pro Max. Now, I'm going to go into the camera and I'm going to swipe over the video. Do you notice this symbol right here? This is, emblematic of our Apple Vision Pro. There's a slash mark for it right now because you can't shoot spatial video on this 15 Pro or 15 Pro Max when you're in portrait. You've got to turn it sideways. Okay? And it still has a slash mark. I just need to tap on it to activate it. So now, if I want to shoot spatial video, I could. And it will let, and if you want to know, let's say you shoot some spatial video. In fact, once you have it turned on, it lets you know you've got to rotate to landscape because it's shooting using those top two lenses. Now, when you go into your photos and you go into your albums, I just checked albums, and you scroll all the way to the bottom. If I have any spatial videos, you would see a line out right here. We just don't have it.
Oh, okay.
Now, when you play back the spatial video on your phone or on your iPad or whatever, it just looks like
Normal. Yeah.
But I would encourage you, you have the 15.
Yeah.
If you do, play around with shooting some spatial video. What you've got to keep in mind is you want to have a distinct foreground, midground, and background.
Okay.
So think about kids doing something and they're getting closer to you. Riding a bike, get closer to you. Something like that that shows they're coming from one kid to another, like that.
Oh, okay.
From the background to the foreground, or vice versa.
Oh, okay.
And play around with that, and then you can watch it on an Apple Vision Pro, and you see that 3D effect.
Okay.
It is like you were right there, and right there where you are taking that video.
Got you.
And we have samples of those videos on our Apple Vision Pro that we do a demo with. So we, by all means, come and get a demo. If we have time, do a demo today. It's really spectacular the way you can see all your photos.
Okay.
Your panoramas, your spatial photos that you take with your iPhone, other spatial videos that you take with your iPhone 15 Pro Max. It's absolutely stunning. Here's kind of an example of you're not going to get the full effect unless you're wearing it. But these little videos, when you look at it on the Apple Vision Pro, it is like you were standing right there with those kids.
Wow.
It's like they're talking right at you.
Wow.
So I encourage you do a demo. They take about 15 to 20 minutes, and they're pretty special to see. And we can sign you up for a demo. That's pretty easy. And here's the Apple Vision Pro. This the model here. So thank you. Do you have any questions about anything we've gone over or something I might need to go back to? I would just encourage you to play around with each of those modes. Do a time lapse in your neighborhood. know,
Yeah.
just walk with your phone. Your neighbor's not gonna think you're crazy. Just try that. Another thing, bubbles. Have somebody blowing bubbles and do slow-mo, you know, that might look fun. You know, just something to practice with. Or if you have something about to bloom and you've got where you can just leave your phone, you know, on a tripod, you know, for several hours, you might see it, you know, popping out of the
Oh, okay.
But experiment, practice, because then there will come a time when you go, oh, I need to do a slow with this. You know exactly what to do.
Gotcha.
Or you'll think there's a time lapse. If you were thinking about upgrading your phone, we do trade-ins. So you may have a phone that has value on it, and let us see what your trade-in would be worth, your phone would be worth. Because you certainly upgrade to that new 16 Pro, 15 Pro Max, and start taking spatial videos of your own.